Moving to item 2.3, the California and Oregon Interstate Attendance Agreement. Vice Chancellor Russell.
You may remember that sometime this past year, the state of Nevada rescinded its good neighbor policy with the state of California, which the good neighbor policy allows the exchange of students between the states at usually a reduced rate of tuition. For whatever reason, the state of Nevada decided that they could no longer do that, and so they rescinded the agreement. As we looked at that agreement, we checked with our Oregon friends up there to make sure that we had all of our ducks in a row and that everything was still okay with the exchange with them. And so this agreement came out of that discussion. The agreement is between the state of Oregon, their higher ed commission, and the Board of Governors here. So it's a state-to-state agreement. What that does is then allow the campuses that are on the border, and there are only two in this case, College of the Redwoods and College of the Siskiyous, then to create exchange programs individually with institutions on the other side of the border. And at this point, that would be Southern Oregon University and Oregon Institute of Technology in Klamath Falls. Being familiar with College of the Siskiyous, I know that Southern Oregon University is its largest transfer institution. Most of the students go there. And the exchange works very well for the students who go to Oregon because they are actually able to keep their low tuition as they go into Oregon for their full career until they finish their bachelor's degree. They don't limit it to a number of semesters. They just say until they finish their bachelor's degree, so students are able to move up there, and we save the students a lot of money by having this sort of exchange in place.
Just a couple of questions. Are students coming from Oregon to California as well?
Yes.
They are. And do they pay a reduced rate at College of the Siskiyous or Redwoods?
Yes.
Do you know
and
what that rate is?
Part B of this saga that has continued on is that there is language in Title V that allows for Oregon students to come to California as part of this exchange and receive a reduced tuition rate, which is some time ago was established in Education Code at $42 a unit.
Oh.
Obviously, the challenge is that if we leave that in statute, then those students will be paying less than our resident students when the tuition goes up to $46. So Vice Chancellor Troy has been working with the Department of Finance to correct that situation. And instead of putting a hard-coded number in, we're looking at some percentage of the tuition so that whenever our tuition goes up, the other number would go up as well.
But you said that was in Ed Code, which would lead me to believe that would have to be legislative action, correct?
Correct. Right. So they're talking about doing it through budget trailer bill. That's my understanding.
Okay. And when you say one-to-one basis, so this has to be an equal number of students coming to California from Oregon and equal from California to Oregon, or is it just open-ended?
I think it is more open-ended. The intention is for it not to be lopsided one way or the other, that all the students are going one direction or the other. But I don't know that there's any intent in really, we have 43 students, so we can only let 43 students from the other side.
Do we have any idea what the numbers are?
Yes, we do. In fact, I have the exact numbers. So at College of the Redwoods, actually in the 2011-2012 year, only 16 students. It's gone down over the last 5 years for their campus. It's gone from about 40 down to 16, and part of that is just due to I'm sure the decrease in the number of slots and places that are available. College of the Siskiyous has also gone down from in the 30s to more like 20, 30s and 40s to like 20 students. So it's not a huge number of students, but what it does is create a great deal of goodwill between the campuses. There is a limit because those students, the colleges can collect apportionment for those students up to a certain FTS limit. So it is an advantage for the students. I will say that we are working with the other colleges that were affected by the Nevada exchange, and those are most Feather River, Lake Tahoe, Lassen, Barstow, who actually lost a lot of students in their programs, especially their athletic programs, who were coming from Nevada on these reduced tuitions. And they're struggling with not only huge budget cuts, but also the loss of these students coming to the system. So we're working with them and trying to work with WICHE, the Western Exchange program, to see if we can figure out a way to help those students still make that transition through another round.
Okay. Board members, any comment? Member Malamed.
Do we have any relation like this with Arizona?
Arizona does not have a central higher ed commission. So what the language of the ed code says, if there is no central higher ed commission, then the colleges on the border can do a one-to-one relationship with each of the institutions.
Member McDougall.
Yeah, Vice Chancellor Russell, if I read this correctly, actually the districts that are close to Arizona could do that, could set this up on their own.
Correct.
Without the board being involved, our board being involved in it, and without, because Arizona doesn't have that state agency, they could do it independently. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Any other comments? Okay.
I'm
And
surprised
are-
at that.
do we need a motion on this, Steve? Yes.
So moved.
Moved by Member Baum.
Second.
Second by Member Azumi.
Huh?
Oh, we do have public
We
comment.
have a request to address the board, Kevin Feliciano of the Senate, Student Senate.
You couldn't tell this is my last board meeting, so I'm making the best of it.
Yeah.
I did want to bring a concern, though it's not directly related to the Oregon agreement, but there are students that have come to the Senate, specifically from Lake Tahoe Community College, about Nevada rescinding their agreement, and so we're pleased to hear that there is some discussion on what we can do to help those students in those districts. So I just wanted to bring the concern to the board from the students, specifically at Lake Tahoe Community College, where they're a city that straddles the state border, and the rescinding of that particular agreement could mean really bad things for that particular college. So I wanted to bring that forward. Thank you.
Okay, motion on the floor. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.